So look around you, tell me, what do you see? What's happening to you and me? God gave us a serenity, and He said, remember who I am. For you've thrown away your sanity, for your pride and your vanity. You turn your back on humanity, and you don't give a damn.
Let's say there's a hypothetical mini version of you, what would you advise to them if they said, you know what, I want to move from Australia or wherever I'm going to college and come to LA? What would be your sort of like, okay, here's what you need to do?
I suppose if I were to advise my younger self, I would have said don't start so early.
Really?
Yeah, even though I got really lucky, like the only reason that I'm still in the industry is because it came over at the right time when I did the right audition and when I booked it. And Rob Reiner was very kind to cast me. I would say become a better person or a better human, a more evolved version of yourself before you come and start doing interviews and talking to people and I suppose making yourself known. I would have liked to have started now because I'm quite comfortable with who I am, and I think part of who I am is born of this industry now, having been here for 6 years and done so much traveling while I've been here. I might not be who I am now should I have not come early. But as I am now, I'd say to myself, don't come early. Go finish school, because I wanted to be either a physicist or a cetologist, like a marine biologist, someone who studies whales. I would have loved to have done that. Even if I could just swim with a whale, I would have been content and then come and been an actor in America. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I was still too much a kid. I didn't really know who I was or what I was doing, and I wish I'd never spoken to anyone out here while I was that young.
We've talked to actors that have said that they just devour a script. They'll read it like 20 times over and over again. I think I've heard you say that you maybe just read it a few times and you like to be more spontaneous.
I feel like even a few times is far from the mark for me. When I go in for the audition, I usually haven't read the script, just because, I don't know, it's probably like an ego thing. I'm always like, they probably won't cast me anyway, so why should I read their script? But honestly, it's just because I'm kind of lazy. But these days I've gotten better at it. I will read the script before I go in. But certainly when I'm casting something, I'll read it through a couple times beforehand. But I also like to discuss it with the other actors a little bit and see what their take of it is. But yeah, I don't read it too many times because I don't want it to be stale for me. It's like I don't know if you've ever tried to write anything. I've been trying to write things my whole life, but I usually leave it too long. And so I've read through the thing so many times, and I've read it so many times that I lose interest in it myself. So for a script, 5 times, maybe 5 or 6 times until wrap. Any more than that, and I think I'll get bored of it.
Julie and Bryce, they're kind of opposite characters, so they play well together.
I thought it was really different because it flips back and forth from each point of view.
The story is about a girl who likes a boy, and the boy doesn't like the girl.
It's just kind of a love story that switches back and forth. First, Julie likes Bryce.
The story flips.
And Bryce likes Julie.
And then she ends up not liking me, and they get together.
It's like total. Julie is a very open-minded, creative kind of girl. And at the beginning, she likes Bryce. Bryce doesn't like her. I think a lot of girls go through that. You like somebody and they don't like you back. And that's a hard thing for a lot of girls. And I think the way that Julie resolves the problem and goes through it, I think a lot of girls especially will be able to relate to that.
Hey, Julie. Right on schedule.
Yeah, well, neither rain nor sleep.
Huh?
She thinks that he's really cool, and she thinks that she is good enough for him, and she just really likes everything about him. She doesn't really know what's on the inside, but she likes the outside, and I think a lot of girls especially like, oh, he's cute. Whereas, like, throughout the movie, she starts looking on the inside and seeing that she doesn't really like the inside that much. After that, he flips and likes her.
Bryce is a normal kid, but he's sort of a bipolar wreck. He has different feelings throughout the movie, kind of changes sides.
Okay, cut this down. It won't cut down. We're all here.
What? In the beginning, Julie is really annoying, and I'm trying not to talk to her, and I'm kind of trying to keep away from her, but she's being really open. And then a tree gets chopped down, and he kind of realizes that he liked it, and he wants it back.
Please give a big Mayfield School welcome to your 1963 basket boys.
I think what changes him is the fact that Julie switches sides herself. He flips. He likes her, but she doesn't like him and stuff, and it switches round. So in the end, it works. Yeah, there's chemistry between them.
Madeline and Callan had the perfect chemistry offset. It was exactly the kind of thing that you see amongst 13, 14-year-old kids. They basically teased each other.
We like to kind of like outdo each other a lot. Like, he'll say black, I say white. He says this, I say that.
I think we're always trying to get one up on each other. It's kind of, I'm the best, not the best, not the best. And we're going over to her project because they're sympathizing for her. Because everyone knows mine's better. One of the things we say is our logic is undeniable.
My logic is undeniable. He always says that. When I say something and he says like, no, he'll correct me. Like, I'll be like, oh, the cat's running. He'll be like, no, the proper communication would be the cat is running fast. And I'm like, whatever. I'm very confused. Yeah. And then he goes at the end, he goes, my logic is undeniable. So annoying. What the heck?
Callan is a kid with a gift. He is incredibly intelligent. Same thing with Maddie. They don't have to do very much, and you get a sense of everything that they're feeling going on inside.
So many of your films have dealt with the sort of theme of true love and destiny. Obviously, Princess Bride and Sure Thing, When Harry Met Sally. Do you feel like that's sort of an ongoing theme in your body of work? Is that a principle that you believe in your own life?
The ongoing theme in my body of work is that the women are always more emotionally developed than the men. If you notice in all the films, it's always the same film. It's a different version of the same film. The guys are always completely clueless, running around, trying to figure out what's going on. The women are very emotionally mature. They know who they are. And it takes a while for the boy to realize how great the woman is. And that happens in Flipped. It happens in, The Sure Thing. And When Harry Met Sally, Princess Bride.
Why don't you run along home? Your mother's probably wondering where you are.
Oh no, my mom knows where I am. She said it's fine. You want to push this one together?
Bryce, isn't it time for you to go help your mother?
Huh? Oh yeah!
I mean, nothing would stop her. I was about to tell her to get lost when the weirdest thing happened. I couldn't believe it. There I was, holding hands with this strange girl. How did I get into this mess?
Ah, hello. I see you've met my son.
Uh-huh.
Finally, I did the only manly thing available when you're 7 years old.
Oh, Bryce, may I speak with you?
What?
Have a seat, son. Tell me about your friend Julie Baker.
Julie, she's not exactly my friend.
Oh, why's that?
You'd have to know Julie.
I'd like to.
Why?
That girl has an iron backbone. Why don't you invite her over sometime?
An iron backbone? She's just stubborn, and she's pushy beyond belief.
Is that so?
She's been stalking me since the second grade.
Well, a girl like that doesn't live next door to everyone.
Lucky them.
I just more eggs.
Wow. Thanks.
Did your family like the first batch?
You didn't have to ask.
Great. See you at school.
What I hoped would be a one-time event was just the beginning of a life consumed with lies, intrigue, and deception.
Speaking of projects, I was thinking it might be cool to fix up the yard.
What?
I mean, how much can grass seed cost? I could plant a lawn, maybe some flowers. I could even put up a fence.
Honey, that's a major undertaking.
I could pay for it with my egg money.
No, that's your money. The landlord should be the one to take care of all this.
But he doesn't. We live here. It looks so bad.
Jules,
Go on.
Listen to it.
It's okay, sweetheart. You can tell us.
The Loskis have been throwing away my eggs because they're afraid of salmonella. Because our yard is such a mess.
Did Patsy say that?
Bryce did.
Are you freaking mental? Julie Baker, you hate her. Well, that's what's so weird. I don't think I do. I can't stop thinking about her. You got it bad, man. What do I do? Well, you gotta nip this in the bud. I mean, think about it. These aren't real emotions. They're not? Now you just feel guilty because of the whole egg thing. Yeah, I insulted her yard. Exactly. Of course, the place is a dump anyways. I couldn't believe it. I wanted to yell at him. Tell him that he didn't know Julie like I did. All that came out was, oh, right. It's looking good, Julie. Nice job.
Thanks. Chet did most of it.
I'm sorry for what I did.
I just don't get it, Bryce. Why didn't you just tell me? Was he really sorry? Or was he just saying these things to make himself feel better?
Her apology made things worse. It was like I wasn't even important enough to hold a grudge against.
Planting a tree? Is it I didn't really need to ask. I could tell from the shape of the leaves and the texture of the trunk. It was a sycamore tree.
When she walked out of the door, I thought back to the first time I saw her. How could anybody ever have wanted to run away from Julie Baker? I bless the day I found you. I wanna stay around you now and forever. Let it